Yo, what is up guys? It is CRPHD back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Blackmagic eGPU Pro and talking about why I bought it in 2024 and if you should as well. So just off the bat, this product is already going to be a very tough sell just because probably 1% of people watching this video would actually buy it. And the reason that I say that is because whenever this thing was first announced, it already was hard to sell at $1,199 for a essentially external GPU that couldn't be upgraded. What? What you buy is what you get until the end of this product's lifetime was just kind of like a hard thing for people to wrap their minds around. What the fuck? But with that being said, it is now 2024 and both the original and Pro models of these eGPUs have significantly went down in price, making them much more affordable. And I feel like now is a great time to see for you 1%ers out there if the Blackmagic eGPU Pro is a right fit for you. Let's jump into it. Now, yes, I know I could have probably gotten a much better bang for my buck if I would have been willing to opt for a different external graphics enclosure unit and then bought my own GPU, but there are reasons that I did not do that. Reason number one being that this Blackmagic eGPU Pro is just pretty much plug and play, already fully suited with the RX Vega 56, and there's no additional need to set up or boot any drivers. And reason number two just being the additional I/O and additional ports that come on these Blackmagic eGPUs. The Pro model has a display port. That's how you can kind of tell the difference between the original and the Pro model, but it has a display port, HDMI, 4 USB ports, and then there will be one additional Thunderbolt port left after plugging into your laptop as well. So there's a lot of added flexibility whenever going with the Blackmagic eGPU. Now that still doesn't take away from the fact that this thing is non-upgradable, and I am fully aware that there are also cheaper external graphics enclosures on the market as well. But for someone that's just looking for something that's plug and play, inexpensive, and has the hub especially on the back of it as well to add that additional flexibility whenever just having to take up space on your desk, I just feel like this is very enticing. And that leads me to another thing that I just love about this eGPU. It's very clean. There's not a whole bunch of extra lights. It's not very RGB. It's very clean, minimalistic. It sits at your desk, and the fact that it has this more taller design shape means that it doesn't take up as much surface area like some other GPUs will. And then the most important thing about this is the fact that it sits dead silent. That alone could be the reason that people still decide to pick this thing up, because this is still one of, if not the most quietest external graphic solutions on the market. For the type of work that I do, which is pretty much just video editing in Final Cut, and while Final Cut isn't the best optimized for this external GPU, it still doesn't break a sweat. The only time that I've heard this thing ever kick up its fans is whenever I was running a online GPU stress test to where I was really having to max and push this thing out to really kick up the fans. And yeah, because otherwise you probably wouldn't even know that there's fans in there. Sounds kind of like a race car almost. Now, this type of achievement isn't something that can just be so easily implemented in other external graphics card solutions, because you got to remember that they need to work with a large variety of cards. Meanwhile, the Blackmagic eGPU has this custom cooling design that allows you to get that ultra quiet performance. And another very important thing to mention is the fact that this eGPU, or any GPU for that matter, will only work with the Intel Max. And this one in particular only works with the Max. You can probably fiddle around with it in Windows to try and get it to work, but this is intended to only work with Max. Well, that sucks because now you're not only going to be handicapping your graphics, you're also going to be handicapping your computer as well, since you can't upgrade it past whatever latest spec of Intel Mac or MacBook it's available. Like, that's literally the end of the line for you. So definitely something to think about. Is it just me? Because it really feels like all the cons are like really starting to kick in and settle here in this video. But all jokes aside, not even really jokes. But yeah, that really is the reality of owning this device. There's a lot of good that comes from it, just from the price point, you know, the added boost in performance that you get, the additional I/O for flexibility, and, you know, just offering that cleanliness on your desk. And then the design as well, ultra quiet, a lot of good stuff. But then the non-upgradability, the being stuck, it's pretty much like a double-edged sword. So my fate is already sealed, and I am fully content with it because I fully understood what I was going to essentially be tying myself into. And this video was just to, of course, help you guys out as well, just in case you didn't maybe know some of the caveats that would come with the Blackmagic EGPU or EGPU Pro. A lot of the same things will apply to one another. This thing might be right for you, but just like I already mentioned, 99% of you guys will probably end up skipping this one. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this video, guys. I appreciate it if you made it to the very end, and be sure to stay tuned because the next video is right around the corner. Peace.